Hey, what's up gamers, this is Skelemistic. Things have been happening in Wizard101 and the Wizard101 community, and when things happen, it is time for, you guessed it, another Through the Grapevine. Now, we have the things that have been happening, for certain. All the Polaris hype and the penguins and the bears, you know, the penguins, the bears, the the cobs, oh my. We've had all that happening, and it's still happening at the usual Wizard pace, which is like one hint or teaser here, one hint or teaser there, and then increasing hints or teasers until we actually get the world. I suspect that just like always, the Polaris test is going to come out towards the end of October, or maybe the beginning of November, or maybe a combination of both before they actually release the world in November. And as you know, I will not rest until all that new content is covered for you guys to see. But we've talked about Polaris, and we've talked about Polaris, and we've had enough talk about Polaris for now until we actually see Polaris. Let's talk about some other things that might be going on in the wizarding world here. Pretty soon, the Halloween holiday will be on us, and you guys all know what that means. Finally, at last, personally, well, this is a bit of personal news, I guess. At last, I will be back to my skeleton costumes. And that also means that Prince Morgan here will be, well, he will be not gone, but he will be faded out for a while for my pet of preference, which you all know is the Pale Maiden. I have, along with those changes, quite a few other personal wizard surprises for you guys, but that's the nature of a surprise. You'll have to wait and see what those are. However, they are quite sizable big changes. Now, on the note of changes in Wizard101, this is something that is, well, currently at the moment is kind of big news, and that is apparently Head of the Wizard has decided to delete her YouTube account. I don't know if she's still playing Wizard, and I don't know the fine details of this, but it looks like, I don't know, maybe enough people have said, hey, you know, you're doing wrong and you need to stop, and maybe she decided to listen to that and stop. I don't quite know exactly what's going on. I just know the end result, and that is I can confirm Heather's channel has been deleted from YouTube. Whether she's quit playing Wizard or not, I couldn't tell you for sure, but she has deleted, she's either deleted her YouTube channel, or the amount of controversy has made YouTube put a stop to, not necessarily close her channel, but investigate or something. In any case, you won't be able to find Heather's channel on YouTube currently. I just, as of a few minutes ago, I looked and it's not there again still. I think that a few people, including Jay and some of Jay's friends, have commented on this, but I did want to come in here and get going and confirm this. So it is confirmed at the moment. Heather is not producing videos, and maybe is not playing. I'm not sure. Now, some of you have good feelings about that, and some of you have negative feelings about that. And I'm sure the feelings run the whole gauntlet, just like everything else. Any kind of thing that happens in Wizard101. Some of you love it, some of you hate it, and some of you are in between. I personally am in between. I don't agree with some of the things that Heather did, but then again, I don't agree with some of the things that any of them did in that whole big dramatic controversy. That's why I didn't stick my nose into it and make comments for one side or against one side or the other, because I really feel that everybody there had something going on. You know, whether they did things wrong in reaction to other things, or whether they initiated the doing things wrong, or what have you. It's just like in any argument. It takes more than one person to be wrong or to be at fault to make an argument. So I really stayed away from that whole pile, that whole dog pile, really, of drama that was going on there. I personally saw a couple things that Heather did that I didn't like, but it wasn't my channel and it wasn't my business. So I'm really trying to stay in the middle ground on this, you know, and I try not to hate anybody. I feel that's really a good philosophy to take right there. I try not to hate anybody, and you've got to do a lot to make yourself just flat hateable before, you know, you'll get that kind of reaction out of me. And some people will argue that Heather did a lot to make herself hateable, but I didn't really see a lot of the things that she did to make herself hateable. And again, it's hard to separate out what she actually did from what people accused her of doing, from what was just flat hate of other people on their own. I mean, I've had enough hate, and I know that you guys, you know, all you watch me, and you love the channel, and you love the videos and stuff like that, but I've had haters. I've had haters for no other reason than envy of my YouTube success. So far as I know, I might have had haters for the color of my hair. I don't even know. But I understand that everybody has haters, and then it's really hard to get a true and actual reaction out of a story unless you're in the middle of the story. And to be honest, that's one story I didn't want to get into. However, I did want to bring you guys the news for those of you who loved Heather's channel, or loved Heather, or loved Heather's videos, or anything like that, or on the other side of the coin, didn't like. At least you know now. It does seem to be confirmed that Heather has deleted her YouTube channel, or it's been removed in some way, whatever way you want to go with that. Now, okay, a little bit of joke here. It's kind of a tongue-in-cheek joke. All the other stuff aside, seriousness. Guys, if you subscribe to Heather's channel and you need something to watch, come over here. I will be happy to give you some entertainment if now that Heather's not here. I'm not trying to make light of her misfortune, but hey, everybody needs entertainment, and I'm providing entertainment, so come on over here. There's my shameless plug for more subscribers. There you go. You've got it now. I'm only somewhat joking. Anyway, now that we've covered all that, I'd like to get into some of the meat and bones of what... Excuse me for a minute. There we go. A little frog in the throat there. I'd like to get into the meat and bones of what Through the Grapevine is about, and that is some new ideas. These are some of the things that I have thought about and wished for and hoped about and haven't yet mentioned in other Through the Grapevine videos that I thought would make great ideas for the gameplay. One of them that's been big on my mind lately is I've been crafting some new decks, which means fish, which means the tank capacity. KI, if you're listening to this, please, I know that you can make those multi-hull fish tanks, one more fish. All the recipes, well, not all the recipes, all the big recipes like the pogo sticks and stuff like that, call for 10 fish. Why must the multi-fish tank only hold 9 fish? I like things neat and orderly. And you can put 10 fish in a tank, 10 fish for a recipe, bam, you know, the whole thing is perfect. Let's go with 10 fish in those tanks instead of 9, so that you don't have to have an extra tank for that one fish, or else carry a bag full of fish. That gets a little bit smelly, you know. This dry cleaning for these robes is expensive. I hate to go into Wizard City sometimes smelling like my rear end smells like fish. That's no good. Please, make the fish tanks hold 10 fish instead of 9. I think that would be a great idea. Another idea that I had the other day while I was helping some people do some questing. Guys, KI, really, it takes you listening to this again. This is very important. Make a 4-person quest team mount. A mount that will hold 4 people. I don't care what the mount looks like. You can make it you can make it a skeletonized armadillo for all I care, as long as it holds 4 people. It's easier whenever you're grouped up for doing questing to have all 4 people in the same mount. Okay, so if you can, please. If there's no video problem with it, if there's no programming problem with it, and there shouldn't be that I know of, but then again, yeah. Anyway, if there's no programming problem with it, please make a 4-person mount for like a quest team, so they can all arrive at the place at the same time, and you're not tapping your toes and wearing off your boot iron, waiting for the other people to show up to the quest place or port to you or any of that stuff. Can we have a 4-person mount? That would be awesome. You don't have to go crazy and like make a whole group mount, you know, like a flying merry-go-round or something like that. You fit 50 people. You don't have to do that. Just a 4-person mount will be great. I mean, it's this game is set up for 4 people. Let's do that. Let me see. What's next on the agenda? Okay, next on the agenda. What I was thinking about, I was toying around the other day when I was doing some questing with ideas for new school spells. You know, we've gotten spells in Aztec and spells in Chrysalis and stuff like that. Shadow spells, storm spells, life spells, all kinds of spells. How about, and I haven't seen, I'm surprised that Wizard101 hasn't done this. And I don't have an idea yet for all the schools. By all means, if you guys have an idea for a great school spell, that would be awesome. By all means, put it in the comments. And if it's something that just totally blows my mind, I'll put it in the video for you. I'll say, hey, so-and-so come up with this great idea, and it was blank. Anyhow, so far as a storm school spell, I'm surprised that they don't have a chain lightning spell for storm. I don't know why. I mean, all the major games, Dungeons and Dragons, Wizard101, World of Warcraft, have chain lightning. A chain lightning spell would hit the first opponent with X damage, and then the second opponent with half of that damage, and then the third opponent with half of that damage, etc. It would hit all, it would be a hit all spell, which is typical for Storm, you know, a hit all do damage spell. But I think Chain Lightning would be an awesome spell for a new Storm School spell. You know, say in Polaris here, coming out with that. You know they're coming out with new spells. They have to be for Polaris. I think that Chain Lightning would be a great Storm School spell. For a Life School spell, I would like to see Heal, and they could call it Wandering Spirit. And what would happen with this spell is the fairy wouldn't go bing, 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 and necessarily heal everything you wanted it to heal, but it would float around like in the dueling circle or in the questing circle or what have you, and it would heal at random times just to do it. I think that would be a cool looking little spell. You know, you've got a fairy or a ghost or something like that that floated around the dueling circle and healed just at random times. That would keep it from being too powerful for life and would allow a heal all or heal any. And that spell needs a little bit of brushing up and polishing for the fine details. But I think a Wandering Spirit spell would be a really cool new life spell. I think that, and this one's dear to my heart because I was doing it the other day for a bunch of Baby to Mega videos. I think that if you play a perfect game in the pet games, say Grumpy Gobbler, you knock all the tower down in one shot, or say with the dance moves you don't fail any, or anything like that. I think that if you play a perfect pet game, it should grant you maybe say an extra 10% experience or an extra 20% experience, something like that. I think that if you're good enough to have scored a perfect game, it should be worth just a little bit more. You don't have to go crazy and double it or anything like that, but I'd like to see a little bit more experience for being good enough to throw a perfect game out. Let me see. This was another one I was thinking about the other day whenever I was doing a PvP video. It's not my top idea ever, but I was toying with the idea, so I thought I would share it. How about if we had a permadeath option in PvP? I have lost so many PvP matches due to a last-second clutch heal where somebody who had a life spell survived with 5 life and managed to boom heal everybody back up on the team full whenever we were beating them down. How about it doesn't have to be, you know, required for the whole thing. Okay, that brings me to the next thing on my agenda. I think that, and I've heard this one a lot of times, I think that at long last, if we had the option to remove or at least toggle off the unwanted spell cards on our gear, it would be beautiful. That would be, I've heard that so often, and for the life of me, I don't know why they don't do that. We have Shadow Blades, we have Shadow Traps, we have Shadow this, that, the other, we have wand spells, and let's face it, realistically, you use that stuff if you use it 5% of the time in both questing and PvP. No one uses a Shadow Blade. It's a great idea, but if you're not going to progress in Shadow Magic where you have a lot other and more feasible Shadow spells, please let us toggle that stuff off. All it does is get in the way of a hand. I've had 2 hands of cards before, and all wands and Shadow spells and crap that I could not use, and it made the difference between life and death sometimes. Please let us toggle off all the unwanted spells we have attached to this gear. If we're going to have so many spells attached to it, at least let us decide if we're going to use it or not. That is probably the best idea of this whole video. Another spell that I was thinking about for a school spell, and this one's really kind of sketchy. I see the visual in my mind, but I don't know how the mechanics of it would play out, is if Death had a mass bat spell, like the cloud of bats that you have for the Death mount. If they were to suddenly like appear out of the ground or appear out of the sky or whatever like that, and just do some like random biting damage or something, it's hard to describe it, but a mass bat spell for Death, where the bats came out of nowhere, like one of the B-rated horror movies. The bats all came down and bit the crap out of whoever the victim was, and they just flew off about their merry way. Happy, happy, joy, joy. That's kind of what I mean as far as the mass bat spell. I think that it's about time for a new plant or new plants, and that these new plants should give us a 100 experience pet snack. Now, I'm not saying that couch potatoes need to be booted out anytime soon, especially because I have so many and work so hard to get them. But how about a new plant that has... I got spoiled during the pet bonus thing for members, where it doubled the experience. I got so spoiled on that, and you guys made me want a 100 experience pet snack now. So can we cough one up? I think that would be awesome if you would do that for us. Me, us, me, us. You know what I mean, really. Anyway, I think that a 100 or 75 or basically a higher pet snack than we have now, and you can even exempt it from the bonus times whenever you guys have double bonus. That'll be okay too. But how about a pet snack that increases? Because I do a lot of pet training. And a snack like that would be great. It would be very, very helpful. Let's see. You know, I have a few more ideas. Just like always, I've got more ideas. But I've probably been rattling on so long that you guys are growing facial hair. So let me go ahead and get off of here. And I'll put the next new ideas in the next Through the Grapevine video. Alright, guys? If you guys enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Maybe leave me a comment about other games or other series or any other craziness you might want to see me do. If you'd like, leave a comment to talk to me, to ask me questions, or just shoot the breeze, because I love to talk to you guys back. This is Skeletal Mystic reminding you that whatever else you do, always love the game. Peace! I think my little wooden rear end was on fire there. Anyway, we are head for round 2, and I will be right back with that. Guys, hang right on.
No.
Man. Come on, sing it, Mason.
Oh, here we go.
Finally, there we go. The match is about to start after like the next 6 seconds.